having that, oh, 36. Oh, I've got a, interruption after interruption after interruption and trying to get this vlog done. It's not a bad thing because the interruptions have been fish. Either Rob's been catching or I have. I've moved back onto one of the harder waters that I fish. This is Glenvale up in Northern Ireland, home of some of the larger carp. I'm fishing to a spot which is called the Snags. I wanted to put all my eggs in one basket. I wanted to fish down by the ropes where a lot of the big fish will lay up during the day. It's like an aquarium. You can see down from the high bank into the spot. You can see your rig, you see your bait, and you can apply it perfectly. I arrived on Wednesday, and within 10 minutes of the first rod out, I had my first run, and then from then on in, it was pretty much sort of chaotic. Every time I put a rod out, it would be away, and sometimes anywhere between 10 and 20 minutes, and it would go, and it was a lot of small fish. And I had this idea because I know that there was a stocking last year where a lot of fish of the sort of 7 to 10 pound mark were put in the lake. There was about 30, maybe 40 fish put in to refresh the stock. It's Sunday morning. I arrived on Wednesday. I had 2 days where I didn't catch anything, because what happened was I was fishing down to my spot, and over the couple of days I just was doing so well. I had about 9 fish in 35 hours of fishing, which for here is pretty special. Started off with a lot of pasties. I had fish anywhere between 8 and 12 pound. I had a couple, I had a 10, 11, 12, and it was noticeable that I started off on the very small fish, and it built up and it built up, and then I hit the 10s, 11s and 12s, and then it went quiet for a while, and the next fish was a 28 pounder. How's that for a peach? 28 pound on the nose. Fish number 5, and 3 other ones lost. All on the same rig, same bait, same spot. Other rods doing nothing as per usual. But happy days. I'm well chuffed with that. Very quickly after that I had a 14.5 mirror. One rod doing all the fish as per usual. Finding the spot within the spot is the secret. And yeah, I couldn't have asked for a better session. This is not an easy lake. Getting 1 or 2 fish for a weekend is beyond a result. And to have in sort of maybe, is it 35 hours fishing now, I've got as I said, 7 or 8 on the bank. This is at number 8, and I've lost 3. So yeah, pretty awesome fishing. Not for mine, I'm just hitting it lucky. I'm usually the bridesmaid, so every now and again it's nice to be higher up in the wedding party. Anyway, right, I'm gonna get this one back and get the rod back out. And I had to wait all the way till Thursday night until I had a fish of about 15-1, I think it was. Again, fishing the same tactics, same baiting method, and as I said, it's this could go any second. It's been very prolific this morning. Even though fish were in the snags there the next day, none of them were coming out at all, and obviously that bit of pressure I put on them, it made a no-go area for them, and they haven't been back in. I've not had a single bite out of the place. So Rob came here on Friday evening, late, and he's fishing right next to me, but he's fishing peg 2, which is the other side of the lake. It's kind of like it's a semi-bay, and he didn't get anything the first night, and then started allowing the bait to, you know, he did the exact same bait and exact same baiting tactics that I've been using, which is the scalded pellets with Trigga solubles and little wafters fished over. So I've just got some more scalded pellets on. I got these kind of micro pellets that they go down into mush very, very quickly. I'm going to let that soak for about 20 minutes. Then I'm going to add some solubles into the mix. Now these are code solubles. I've been using Trigga solubles all week, but the problem is I've run out. I had a 5 kilo bag with me and they're all gone. So I had to go rummaging in the car and I found a kilo bag of solubles. This is our last morning. So to be honest with you, it'll do the job nicely, and I've every confidence in the code solubles doing the same sort of, or having the same impact as the Trigga ones. I would have preferred to have the Trigga to continue with my consistency, but needs must. There's obviously the Four Seasons bag mix in that pellet to kind of get it active. It wasn't until about 10 o'clock the next morning, the sun, if it's sunny, and it was really sunny on Saturday morning, yesterday morning, it was beautiful and sunny all day, and we could see the fish beginning to porpoise over there. They were moving around, and at 10 o'clock he started his first run. He's now on fish number 12 Sunday morning. He's had 5 fish this morning. He had the rest yesterday, and like me, he was able to get a lot of small pasties, and then all of a sudden the bigger fish started to come, and he caught something mega special. And I was just such a privilege to be on the bank with a mate, one of my best mates, and to see him catch such an awesome fish. The fish did get a nickname of Bono many moons ago. I don't know who gave it to it, but I just can't bring myself to call it Bono, because I really don't like Bono from U2, and that's obviously what it was called after. And so I've nicknamed it in my own head the long mirror, and that's what I'm going to call it, because it's a really long mirror, and it's my target fish. It's the one I'm after. And it was funny because Rob was playing the fish. We hadn't seen it at that stage, and he turned to me and he goes, "Could you imagine if this was the big mirror you're after?" And he laughed. And next of all, it hit the net, and I looked in and went, "It is the big mirror." We weighed it on 3 sets of scales, got it certified by the bailiff. He came down, we used a tripod to weigh it, and it came in at 36.8.
What did we say at 36.8?
36.8, yeah.
Stay still, come on. 36.8. Little Trigga wafter. Over a lot of Trigga solubles. 6 fish today. Very happy.
Second biggest fish in the lake, absolutely cracking fish, and privileged to see it on the bank, and it's made me want it even more. It's not a fish that comes out very often. Rob had a 17.5 fully scaled, he had a 15-pound common, but now this morning the scamps are back in on the area, and Rob kindly let me wiggle my rod slightly into his corner of the swim, because mine's been so dead for the last couple of days. And you know, we always fish as a team, and if somebody's having the royal luck, you know, we try to let the other one come in if it doesn't affect our fishing too much, and it hasn't certainly affected his. But I've been able to winkle out a couple of the small scamps this morning myself. I'm on 3 fish this morning, so my total of fish for the few days that I've been here, 2 days I didn't catch, and the rest have all come to very short windows. I've managed to winkle out 13 fish and I lost 3, so 16 runs on here is, I know a lot of them are the smaller fish, but it's still outstanding, considering that very few fish have been out while we've been here. to anyone else. And for all last weekend, very little came out. So it goes to show that A, finding the spot that they want to feed in is paramount. B, finding the spot within the spot where you're going to get continuous bites coming from it, because even if you put a rig in one spot and get runs off it, you can put a rod right next to it and it will do nothing. Finding that spot within the spot is really important. And then bait application is, after that, the biggest thing. Using the solubles. I brought a 5 kilo bag of Trigga solubles with me, and as I said, I've scalded down the pellets with a number of crumbed up boilies from different styles of boilie, because I do believe in the buffet scenario for carping. And I was talking to one of the bailiffs, and he said, what bait, what boilies are you using? And I said, well, I've got out Code, Trigga, BFM and some cream Gezza. And he looked at me, he goes, yeah, but if you do that, then you don't know what you're catching over. And I said, well, I do. I'm fishing a bait over all of that. And I do believe that on certain days, fish have certain preferences or stimulated in whatever it is, whether it's the water temperature. I don't know. I can't give you the scientific, and this is maybe a theory that's incorrect, but I do believe that giving them a choice will get a quicker feeding response, because on certain days they'll come in and they'll want to take the Trigga and they'll ignore everything else, and other days they'll come in and they'll want the Code, or they'll want the BFM, or they'll want something like a cream Gezza. And having that, oh, on the way, sorry about that, I just got a fish. It's only a small pasty again, but I'll have to come back to the story in a second. But I'm just going to unhook it now and get it back. Real little fat stocky. They are real pretty little fish, but I'll get back to the vlog now. But this is now fish number 12. This is what interrupted me. I haven't weighed it, probably 9–10 pound, give or take. Pretty little thing. They're little barrels, these ones, and they're growing fast. Another few years and I think we're going to see some nice mid double to 20 pound monsters. They're a lovely strain of fish, these ones, and very pretty. So I'm going to get her back. Myself and Rob returned to Glenvale 2 weeks later, fishing the exact same tactics and applying the bait in the exact same manner, and we managed to amass 21 fish between us to 21 pound. This proves that using the right bait in the right spot and applying it in the right way is not a one-hit wonder and can keep yielding great results.